Imagine a world where adrenaline isn't a choice, it's the currency. Where mountains whisper secrets and the air tastes like risk. You're not just riding through the Republic. You're racing through a story no one believes is real. But today you're going to hear it. A story hidden under the dirt trails, snowy peaks, and twisted forests. And once you hear it, you cannot unhear it. Welcome to Riders Republic. But we're not just here for flips, tricks, and downhill madness. We're here to uncover the legend. A legend born from a truth buried deep beneath this land. A truth that even the developers won't talk about. So gear up, because this isn't just another game. This is a coded message disguised as extreme sports. There's a place in the Republic most riders never talk about. Locals call it Black Ridge Gap. To tourists, it's just another dangerous slope off the main trail, barely mapped. But those who know to stay away. You see, back in 1963, Black Ridge wasn't part of any game or national park. It was the site of a government experiment known as Project Mindrift. What was it? A classified attempt to train soldiers using environmental stimulation and mental conditioning through fear. They built a fake resort over Black Ridge, filled it with planet hikers, actors, and even simulated wildlife. But what they didn't expect was that the environment they built started changing them. The terrain began reshaping itself. Weather would shift on a dime. People reported hearing whispers during snowstorms. Not from radios, not from other people, but from the mountain itself. Soldiers began hallucinating, seeing trails that didn't exist. One of them even rode straight off a cliff he swore was a bridge of light. Eventually, Project Mindrift was shut down. But here's the kicker. The area was never evacuated. It was quietly turned over to what would eventually become Riders Republic. And Black Ridge? It's still in the game. Hidden. Waiting. Some gamers say it's just creepypasta. But here's what's strange. Every few months, a new patch in the game includes an update in that area. But the devs never list it in the notes. Textures get darker. Fog rolls in unnaturally thick. A few streamers have claimed their in-game cameras glitch when entering Black Ridge Gap. Some even say they heard a voice whisper their username. One Redditor posted, "I swear the mountain watched me. My controller was vibrating, and the game wasn't even on." Coincidence? Or something more? Now here's where things get real strange. In a recent game update, some players spotted a new symbol carved into one of the cliff sides near Black Ridge. It looks like a triangle with 3 claw marks slashing through it. Users traced the symbol and matched it to a classified document from 1965, leaked years ago on a conspiracy forum. It was used to mark zones that were contaminated by psychological displacement. Basically, areas where reality bends. And now, that symbol's in Riders Republic. So why hasn't Ubisoft commented? Why does no one acknowledge it? Or better yet, why hasn't it been removed? Maybe because it's not an accident. Just last month, a popular YouTuber tried camping in-game near the Black Ridge area overnight. He left the game running. In the morning, the time-lapse footage showed something chilling. His character, who hadn't moved, was suddenly in a new area. The camera angle slowly zoomed in on a cabin that doesn't exist anywhere else on the map. Inside the cabin, a mirror, and in the reflection, a face. Not his character's, not anyone's, just watching. The footage went viral, but YouTube pulled it down. Copyright violation. Except he used unedited gameplay. People re-uploaded it. Same result. Gone within 48 hours. Some think Ubisoft's hiding an ARG. Others think it's something deeper, a message for those willing to look. Did you know there's a real Blackridge Trail in Utah? It's off limits, fenced off by the government. No trails, no drones. Locals say the area's magnetic field is off the charts. Same elevation as the Blackridge in-game. Same terrain, same shape. So now the question is, did the devs create Blackridge Gap, or did they simply reveal it? What if Riders Republic is being used as a digital mask? A way to feed players the truth, frame by frame, under the cover of fun and adrenaline? Now here's the big theory. The entire game isn't just a sports playground. It's an environmental simulator testing our reaction to chaotic events, just like Project Minddrift. The weather shifts, the trail collapses, the glitches. They're not bugs. They're observations. Some believe Riders Republic is part of a long-term social experiment, one that uses players' decisions and movements to predict behavior in real-world disasters. And maybe, just maybe, that's why some players go silent after discovering Blackridge. Because they've seen something, and now they're part of it. So the next time you fly down a mountain in Riders Republic, listen closely, watch the fog, track your location, and if you see the triangle with the claw marks, turn back, or don't. Some truths were never meant to stay hidden. So we thought this would just be another adrenaline-pumping mountain descent. But it turns out, this path was never meant to be discovered. The town near the track? Forgotten. Wiped off maps. Locals say it was once called Aspen Echo. But in 1976, something happened. An experiment gone wrong, or exactly right. They say the U.S. military constructed a secret underground motion research lab in the mountains, camouflaged as a ski lodge. The project? Codenamed Project Spindle. It wasn't about speed or gravity. It was about warping momentum, controlling inertia like a switch. In theory, they could send a soldier flying at 100 miles per hour into a battle zone and land safely without a single scratch. Now ask yourself, if you could bend the laws of physics to win a war, what would you sacrifice? The problem? The humans weren't adapting fast enough, but the mountain was. See, this isn't just any mountain. There's a reason Riders Republic devs chose this setting. According to recovered Freedom of Information Act documents, 3 test subjects vanished here. No trace, no radio. Only their helmets were found, completely caved inward like someone had crushed them from the inside. Years later, extreme riders unknowingly built their course right on top of the ruins. Every time someone launches off a ramp, they say you're disturbing the remnants of Project Spindle. And sometimes, just sometimes, you'll catch a glitch in reality. Not a graphics bug, a literal slip in space. Did you see that shadow? That flicker? The camera didn't stutter. That's the mountain remembering. Some streamers have reported strange audio files randomly playing in their videos. Morse code, reversed voices, even coordinates. Want to hear the creepiest one? A biker screaming, "Don't go to 40.009 latitude." Don't. It's not a jump. It's a door. And here's where it gets darker. A Redditor named you/bleedvelocity claimed to hike off course in Riders Republic using a mod. They found a path with no texture, just grayscale noise. He posted screenshots before deleting everything. The title of his last post? I saw myself coming back down the hill. His account? Wiped. So let's pause. You're biking through what looks like an ordinary landscape. Snow, trees, wind in your ears. But what if you're not the only version of you? Riding? What if this entire route is a looping simulation to study how adrenaline alters perception? We scream at jumps because it feels real. But what if it is? Not digital, not code, just a very advanced experiment funded by people who don't want you to stop writing. Because the longer you play, the more data they collect. You ever notice how your crashes in this game never look the same twice? Or how when you try to rewind, something else rewinds too? The clouds shift. The birds reset. Sometimes, your own shadow disappears before returning with a slightly different outline. People think this is just creative programming. But what if it's not? What if Riders Republic is a digital layer over a real testing ground? A way to normalize superhuman physics before we ever realize we're being tested? Think about it. You push past physical limits. You ignore pain. You reboot at will. You ride again, harder, faster. Sound familiar? That's soldier conditioning 101. And let's not forget the sound files. Did you notice that ambient whisper near the ice cave? It loops every 43 seconds. I clean it up with software. It says, "Release me." Now who's talking? A code error? A leftover voice actor? Or a remnant of someone who never escaped the loop? Here's another twist. A small indie dev posted on Twitter in 2021 claiming he helped build a Riders Republic prototype zone under NDA. He said he snuck in a personal signature. It's a tower way off in the back corner of one of the snow valleys. Zoom in on the windows. Frame by frame. You'll see a man, dressed like you, but standing still, motionless, even when the wind howls. Even when the camera glitches, he stares right at you. And on October 31st every year, he reportedly smiles. Nobody has ever reached that tower. But once a player tried flying over with a wingsuit hack, their game crashed, their console bricked, and their Discord account posted this message after the freeze. I landed inside. It's not a tower. It's an observation point. Then they went offline. Forever. Let's go deeper. Ever heard of the velocity echo effect? It's an idea from Russian research where high-speed movement imprints echoes of your presence onto space-time, like a shadow you leave behind. They believed athletes at extreme speeds could accidentally splinter themselves. So your reflection, your double, might appear in moments of intense speed and eventually develop independent awareness. You ever feel like someone's watching you mid-jump in Riders Republic? That's not just adrenaline. That's your echo, catching up, and maybe it doesn't like you being in control. So let's say all of this is true. What does it mean for you, the player? Are you the test subject, the observer, or the glitch? There's one more layer. Riders Republic might be connected to other Ubisoft titles in ways we haven't fully grasped. Hidden symbols, shared frequencies, declassified assets, names that appear across completely different worlds. This isn't just a game. This is a multiverse exploration tool designed to test how we navigate impossible terrain. And the final challenge? You're not racing for the leaderboard anymore. You're racing to understand what's chasing you and why it looks exactly like you. Ever tried pausing during a storm sequence? Freeze it, then zoom in behind the clouds. There's a shape, always in frame. Sometimes a face, sometimes a tower, sometimes a door. I went frame by frame. The door is always slightly ajar, as if someone's watching from the other side. And now let me ask you, when you close this video and turn off the console, are you sure the game stops running? Or have you simply left your echo behind to keep playing? And what happens when it starts to wonder why you stopped writing? And now, if you think this is just a story, pause the game, turn up the volume, and listen closely. Because some say, if you ride fast enough for long enough through just the right coordinates, you'll hear something whisper back. A name. Your name. And that's when you'll know You were never alone on this ride. Some players claim their screen glitched for a second, not due to lag, but a shadow riding behind them. No username, no reflection, just silence and wheels spinning in sync with yours. Now ask yourself, is Riders Republic just a game? Or is it a map to a place we were never meant to find? Maybe you were the test subject. Would you ride in a Blackridge if you knew what waited? Or would you stay in the safe zones and never know the truth? Comment below with one word. Enter or escape. Let's see how many of you would dare the unknown. If this story got you thinking, don't keep it to yourself. Smash that like button so more people discover what's hiding in the code. Subscribe for more mind-bending stories hidden in your favorite games. And comment below, what game do you think is hiding a secret? This isn't just gaming. This is a new way to see the world. And you just rode into the next level. Stay wild.